Well, he's sprinting at me. He seems large. River rats, it's been a long time since I've been this excited about getting something new for fishing, and I got big plans for this thing, and day one of it starts right now. I got a little bit of packing and a whole bunch of driving, so gotta get moving. Let's go. Well, this didn't go exactly as I had planned. Got down here last night and 0% chance of rain turned into 100% chance of rain. But fortunately, I had a buddy who lives down here who let me crash at his place, and it's bright early, and I'm gonna get the kayak on the water. It looks good. I've never really truly fished this river, like spent any, like a good fishing trip. I fished it for a half hour just so I can say I fished it once, but as I was driving through town. This will be a little different. I'm gonna really try and break it down and figure some things out, but she might be mean. I've heard she can be mean, but she looks good. All right, I'm gonna get rigged up. So I've fished out of every single new canoe that they make and absolutely love them. And I kind of got rid of, or got away from them, I guess, when I got my big water boat, because they're big. They're not that heavy for as big as they are, but they're a heavier kayak. And I kept my creek kayaks for when I wanted to fish a creek, but I sold my boat kayaks because I got a boat. So, but the more I got to thinking about it, the more I'm like, man, I could use this thing for a whole bunch of stuff, especially now that I don't have a jet boat. And just the more I thought about it, the more and more excited I got about it. So my plans are, with this thing, it's got two main jobs. One is like expedition, multi-day, multi-night kayak trips, which that's what this was supposed to be, but we had a rain out for night one. And then I've been getting into the catfishing tournaments, but their catfishing tournaments are pretty darn expensive when you factor in the fuel costs and everything. And this kayak does pretty good on gas. So by fishing kayak catfishing tournaments instead of just boat tournaments, which I'll fish some of those still too, I'm able to fish more for less money, and I still kind of get to scratch that itch because, I mean, I enjoy competing. I played 4 sports in high school and wrestled in college, and even played 1 year of football in college and wrestled at the same time. So I like to play the game. Yeah, that's what this thing opens the doors for. I'll show you how I got it rigged for the expedition, you know, big camping trip, kayak trips, which will be different than the tournaments. And that's the other cool thing about these, is you can flip-flop them around and they can do a pile of different stuff. But yeah, this thing's the New Canoe Unlimited. It's the 12.5 footer. It's 41 inches wide, so it's just a giant kayak, super stable, and can carry a pile of stuff, or even a pile of people. You can, I think this thing's rated for 2 or 3 people. You turn my, I think my sucker hit the aerator and turned it off. Yeah, it can haul a pile of gear, so like all my camping stuff, this will be no problem. And then when you put a motor and a bunch of batteries and a big fish finder on it, that shouldn't be any problem either. But I'll start at the front and work my way back and kind of show you what I did to it, which it's not a ton, but it really enhances the fishability. Then I'll show you how I pack everything too. Number one thing, I got this gear strap, and that's gonna be for my dry bag. Then I got 2 Scotty rod holders. I actually cut the straps off of them because It makes them a little more compact, which I like. You know, they don't take up as much room. The reason I like Scotties over, say, going with traditional, you know, catfish and rod holders is those are completely adjustable. They don't weigh as much. They're not as strong, but you know what? Even if you have all metal rod holders, the rod holders are only as strong as what they're connected to, and they're still connected to a track that's connected to plastic. So I don't get real worked up over having the strongest rod holders in the world on a kayak. Plus, if a big cat smokes a fishing rod on a kayak, the kayak moves, which creates a little more forgiveness on top of that. It's not like a boat that's a lot more solid. And then in the back of it, I got zigzag cleats for either tying off to the bank or clipping off to a log, and I run my cleat through that. As far as rigging goes, oh, I guess I got my little gear bag on the back of my seat. These seats are really comfortable. They're Millennium seats, which are the same ones I have in my big boat, and the elevated position's really nice. And I've never had this unlimited before, but I've had a Frontier 12, which was the predecessor to this, and this is definitely an upgrade in my mind. You lose the in-hole storage, at least as much of it, but you get an extra 6 foot of kayak, and like just little stuff like the chair's nicer, the deck itself drains better. It's got and it's a lot more rigid, which I like. The Frontier had some flex to it, which bothered me. It doesn't hurt nothing really. It just didn't like it. And this thing, you can walk around on this, and the deck of the boat is really solid. And I put the full decking kit on it. It kind of makes it more like a flathead sneak boat type situation, which I really like. And this is her loaded down for overnight adventure. And actually, this is about what it'd look like for 2 nights too. But give you a rundown. I like the wide open space because then I just use a dry bag. I mean, you can pack stuff in the hole. There's a 6-inch hatch in the back, but that's more for rigging. You can put some stuff in there too. And I wasn't sure if I'd missed that dry hatch, but that Striker, it's a Striker dry bag. I love that thing. It's rugged and beefy and works pretty good. And I can just strap it on there, and it's not a big deal getting stuff in and out. Then I got my cooking stuff under the seat. Still got room for my cameras, got room for drone, and then bait tank right behind the seat, and then drink and food cooler behind that. And I guess I got a amped outdoors lithium battery back there, and it's in a battery case, and I use that to charge all my stuff, like my phone, GoPro batteries, all those things. And I don't have to bring a camp chair because that seat can be removed, and you just sit it on the sandbar, and your camp chair is part of the kayak. I pretty much do this system the same way I did when I had my Frontier. Works pretty slick, and you still got big wide open space to deal with fish. It still paddles good even when it's weighted down like this. I've talked enough. Well, probably not, but I've went without fishing long enough, so I'm gonna put it in the water and see if we can catch one of the monsters that lives in this river. I floated a ways. Not that there wasn't some good spots close to put in, but I mean, places like that get fish, so I decided I'm gonna try to get away from pressure a little bit. Got I don't know, probably the best looking piece of structure I've seen so far. I'm gonna try to tie off to this log. There's one downfall of a boat like this is it's kind of sluggish. Also doesn't help, but there's probably 500 pounds in here, counting me. Yeah, I'd say describe it as moves well, but not fast when it's weighted down. Paddles so much like the Frontier. I mean, it makes sense because the whole design is pretty comparable. I am using circle hooks because there's blue cats in here. I don't know if I'm gonna end up regretting it or not. I also have a big stick right in front of me. We'll see if I end up regretting that or not. I have starter bait. I got a cast net to catch some bait later on too. I think we'll start off with a green sunfish. Ooh, bush there, clear on the left. Yeah, it's about 3 foot deep, which is pretty good for this river. There's some really deep holes to be found, don't get me wrong, but one thing I've learned, at least in a river, it don't take much water to hide a catfish. Yeah, I think these shallow sandy rivers are so cool. I don't know why. No real reason other than I just think they're cool. So we got one at the front, one at the back. Give her 10-15 minutes. It's a pretty standard trip for me where I got a long ways to go and only X amount of time to get there. Actually, I got a decent amount of time. I say that, and then I end up getting in a hurry to get to the ramp when it's all said and done. Plenty of gar down there. I see them flipping and flopping. Probably should have been a little more strategic about what part of the dry bag I put my Cliff bars in. I will do better this time. It's kind of nice having on-the-water access to that stuff, where it's not that big of a deal. Breakfast is important, although we're pretty much at brunch right now. I do have stuff to fry fish. Also brought some beef to cook up for dinner too. Still currently missing the #1 ingredient for frying fish. Not really fishing for eaters though. You still luck onto them sometimes. All I have is live bait. I have a feeling cut bait's gonna play more than live bait for some reason. And I have no cut bait, so once I get to like a really good looking spot, I'll probably change that. Nice to pick up a white bass on the way. They're really good cut bait when it's hot. It's gonna be 100 out today. It's getting toasty. My coffee doesn't taste as good as it did an hour ago. I think I'm gonna try to get some cut bait. There's a sandbar drop off over here. Throw the net off of it and see if there's anything behind it. Well, I got what I really wanted. Oh. Got a couple of these. I'm gonna dice them up and get them on ice, but these are not phenomenal bait, but when the water's hot, they're definitely a solid option. I can literally see the gar swimming around with my bait. He's still swimming around with it. We'll see if he stays on. He's gonna try and tangle my other line. Okay, kept him out of there. No, it's not a gar. It's a turtle. He's not hooked very well, which is good. I just realized I don't think I have pliers. got these. Stick? Yeah, I'll use a stick. Beggars can't be choosers in times like this. Why aren't you coming up? There we go. Turtle free is the way to be. I hadn't caught a turtle for a while. I put that stick in my boat like it was a tool or something. Still no cats. That's okay. This is definitely, the intent of this trip is more quality over quantity, but would like to see one. This place is Turtle Central. I'm starting to think that there's no actual bottom to the river. The bottom is just turtles. It's crazy how I can toss a chunk of cut bait down, and as soon as it touches the bottom, it's just no sound effects, but I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. Probably gonna hit a couple spots on the spot here. This isn't as deep up here as I thought it might be, but there's gonna be a big drop off somewhere along this. Fish finder would be nice in situations so you don't have to like dip your paddle down to see exactly where the drop off is and disturb anything down there, but I'm gonna make do. Just fish around and find out a little bit, you know. Probably wouldn't be able to see how deep it is on a fish finder anyway, because there'd be so many gar you couldn't even see the bottom. And the bottom's made of turtles, so I mean, fish finder wouldn't do me any good. My cut bait is getting absolutely pecked to death. It's kind of impressive, really. Just the persistence is very admirable. But it gave me an idea. I think I take just a little piece of cut bait and drift it on the spin pole. Let's see if he'll eat that. He doesn't eat this. Or one of his buddies. Yeah, I'll just cut me a little chunk off of here. Even if this doesn't work here, I think I'll keep trying it. Usually not too antsy, but I kind of just want to feel a little tug. Oh, I got you, whatever you are. Ooh. Wow, you are fast. Holy cow. I have 10-pound line. We'll see how this goes. What would eat a little chunk of cut bait and just own me like this? Like, am I gonna have to chase him? There's a brush pile down there, and there's a tree not that far either. That's so funny. It's got to be a cat, I think. Gar probably would have jumped. Oh, he's giving me a workout though. Big Chan, maybe? He's on the other side of this little shoal. I like that run though. That was just a drag ripper. You can tell it was a drag ripper because it ripped drag. What do we got here? It's changing directions a bunch. I just want to know the mystery fish. It's dark. Oh yeah. Chucky, and a nice one too. Oh yeah, nice Chan. Just downsized baits just a smidge, and that was almost instant, and that was really fun. Come here, bud. It's gonna be tough in a little bit of current, and 10-pound line. Yep, come here. Gotcha. He is ours. First cat in the new yak. Breaking some ice. Chucky saves the day. The old Jackie Chan. The Channing Tatum. The Chandler Bing. I think that was his name. They fight pound for pound harder than any catfish out there. And I'll stand on that hill. Alright. See ya. Wish I could say I was original enough to come up with all the names for the Chan. But a subscriber commented those and I felt like I needed to share that with the world. Because it made me literally LOL. Nibbed. No, he just got bit. Got him. Not nearly as big as the last one. Oh, he came all the way out of the water. What are you? Are you a cat? You're a cat. Why'd you jump so high? That was cool. Wish I would have got that on camera. Even if I had the back one, probably wouldn't have caught it very well. But he came like, I don't know, like a foot out of the water. Must have bumped a log or something and freaked him out, would be my guess. That's more the size I was expecting. Oh, he's like stiff. Did he just die? That is so weird. It's like instantly stiff as a board. Like, huh. That's a new one. Well, he's wiggling now. He swam away. It's almost like the fainting goat of catfish. Well, this wasn't the original plan, but still pretty good time. Been paddling for a good long while. I've been skipping a bunch of marginal looking stuff to make sure that I get back to camp, or back to camp to where I want to camp early, so I can look at it and decide if it for sure is the place I want to camp. There's still a few spots along the way I do want to hit. This bend down behind me looks like it's got some potential. Maybe for something big enough to eat a big bait. Or maybe not, I'll just keep throwing the spinning rod, that's fun. Well, this isn't a gar. He tanked it. Pull and drag in the holder even. That was nice. Oh yeah, blue kitty. Not a dinker either. Man, he just crushed it. Boom. Wow. Just like I dream about, really. So much more intense in the kayak too. I wondered if that was going to happen one more time. Yep, nice fish. Tied off to a ball of wire. Some farmer must have had it roll off the truck or something. Yeah, he pounced it. Yep, that's a pretty darn nice one. I don't know how nice. Fun, really fun. Hammered it and then was even cooperative enough to swim away from the snag. Oh, easy, champ. Yep, he wants to go back. Last look at him. Let's see it. Later. Huh. I like it. Yeah, I didn't notice it in the moment, but that blue cat left me a big old poop pile on my leg inside of the kayak to remember him by. And if there's any question if this kayak was broke in before that, I think it's all gone. It's definitely a catfishing kayak now. Thought my bluegill got hit for a second, but I think that was just him who made the bonk noise. Caught me snoozing. Yep. Oh yeah. That's a pretty good little hole. Oh, that was a good one too. Just gonna say it's a good little hole. You just bust me off? No. Just about doubled up. Was texting Ella, trying to handle, like, I don't know what the word for it is, adult stuff while fishing. Not always easy, especially when they're biting like this. This is a nice change of pace after a very slow day. But my understanding is that's how this river is. Ugh. I need to figure out a good system for landing fish from being up this high. But first thing I'm going to do is put my phone in my pocket. Alright, we got him. Wow. That noise scared me a little. Yeah, not the best lighting. Well, depends on what direction you're looking, I suppose. But, yeah, another nice one. That camera just died. Another nice one. I'm not going to take the time to put a battery in. I'm just going to get him back. And especially before he poops on me. Okay. Yeah, another dandy of a fish. Cool. Wonder why that one missed the hook. I have no idea why. I gotta reel it in. Oh, he did bust me off. Holy cow! That's interesting. He ripped the back end of the float off. Well, that's a first. Huh. That's a productive little run of spots. Terrible lighting for filming. Well, at least one direction. But yeah, you gotta like that. I mean, there's often the one that got away, and there definitely was there, but that could have been like a manufacturing defect, and it could have been like a 15-pounder like the other, you know, the rest of them. Or it could have been 100, I don't know. But I would like to have known, but I'll be honest, the fish that I catch kind of leave me feeling, you know, satisfied, happy, content. And then the ones that get away are the ones that really make me want to either get back out there or never get off the water. So, I don't know, there's ups and downsides to everything. Moral of the story, I would have liked to have seen that fish though. We got a few more spots before we get to that place that I'm very interested in for all-night camping, and got some fun baits that I want to throw out tonight too. Be nice to pick up one more on the way though. Maybe one that's real big. Well, I was talking to Ella, actually getting ready to reel rods up, and a fish hit. I don't know if it's the gar that's been pestering me, or if it's a cat. Kind of feels like a cat though. Not a big, yep, it's a cat. Hang on there, buddy. It's been so hard to keep cameras running today. I mean, we got an hour or so of daylight and it's still like 92. Not complaining, not even a bit. I actually kind of like this weather. It just makes filming a little more difficult. It's the Chan man. Yeah. He's so good. Oh, quit it. He's a good one. Not as big as the one I got on the old spin pole, but pretty decent anyway. They put a bend in the old fishing rod, and I appreciate the heck out of that. Yeah, nice one. See ya. Yeah. Been here for a little while. I'm gonna keep moving. Call Ella back. Get camp set up. I'm in a little bit of a conundrum. Spot I was thinking about fishing doesn't look that great, and there's a spot way upriver that looks way better. It's one of the downfalls of the whole kayak thing is no locomotion other than a paddle. Well, you could put motors on them. I'm going to put motors on this, but when I'm doing things like this, that's a risky run. Like, do I stop and stay here, or do I stop and stay here? Which one's going to be the better fishing spot? And it's usually a flip of the coin. And I mean, I think up there looks better, but I might get up there and it doesn't look as good as I remembered too. So, I don't know. I hate wondering, so I'm going to paddle up and take a peek. Well, I like it. I don't absolutely love it, but I like it. I would surely think that something would come up here at night. I don't know for sure. I mean, we're gonna have all night to find out. Once I get something to eat, I'll be thinking clearer, probably. For dinner, we have sirloin tip. I've never cooked a sirloin tip. I don't know how it's supposed to be cooked. I'm gonna cook it just like it's a steak. I'm gonna throw it on a cast iron and heat her up. So right now, food is not really anything more than just a utility to continue paddling. I don't even have any seasoning other than fish blackening seasoning, but I'm not going to use that. I guess it'll be seasoned with some sand because it doesn't seem to want to come out. So it'll be a crunchy sirloin tip. Good enough for who it's for. Okie doke. Let's light this puppy up. Looks like a rocket taking off. It even looks like it should be the back end of a rocket. Just realized I don't have a knife other than a bait knife. No, I'm not cutting the steak with a bait knife. I learned my lesson. That's a joke. I've never used a bait knife to cut a steak. I guess I could cut this steak with my box cutter knife. Guess if you want to call it a steak. She kind of fits. Here's, I should probably back that off just a little bit. It does smell good though. Actually, it smells really, really good. But that might have something to do with me being starving. Time for the flip. Oh, this thing's cooking weird. Probably should have cut it. But we're past that point. It might not be gourmet, but it's going to be edible. I'm not sure if it's done, but I'm calling it done. Get out of there. I have my sacrificial plate on top, one that gets greasy and sandy and whatnot, and then the other ones stay reasonably clean. Turn that puppy off. Yeah, I mean, it's meat, it's fuel. I'm gonna let it cool down a smidge. All right, we'll see if how the box cutter knife does. Does just fine. She's cooked. That flavor was not what I was expecting, but it's pretty good. Almost tastes like a tenderloin. Like one of the fried ones you get at the state fair. Well, I'm gonna eat this. Now I'm gonna get the baits out. Hopefully good things happen. Morning. Turns out I was wrong. Nothing wandered over to that flat to eat any of our baits. Or at least, if they did, I slept through it. Kind of funny. Paddled a mile back up river to fish here because I thought it looked better than the other stuff, but didn't catch nothing. Yeah, it's funny how that stuff works. Well, make me some coffee, I think. Get everything picked up. It's beautiful out. This is my favorite time of day, without a doubt. I didn't mean to rhyme. It just happens. Well, coffee's done. The kayak's packed up. Which reminds me, where's my coffee? Just had it. It's like, how do I lose coffee in a kayak? If there's anybody who could do it, it's me. Yeah, we got quite a ways to go yet, about 9 miles. We haven't got any true mega giants. We've put in some time, we fished a lot of places. Some really good, some that leave a little bit to be desired, like where I ended up camping. But you know, just keep chipping away. You know, big fish fishing, especially in places that don't have like an exorbitant amount of big fish, lots of times isn't fast. There's my snippers. Yeah, I'm gonna get this rigging fixed back up and then we'll be good to go. I just realized I didn't have my life jacket on. Quick fix. We're set. No love so far, anywhere I've tried. But we'll keep trying. Had to take a little break to catch some bait, but we got some good stuff. You're wondering if you could throw an 8-foot cast net in a New Canoe Unlimited. I can assure you you can. 10's probably pushing it, but felt pretty comfortable with the 8-footer. Now that is deep. Probably more flathead water than blue cat water, but I like both of them, so I'll take either. Haven't had a real good bite yet this morning, which is a lot like yesterday morning in that regard. We'll keep chipping away. probably be my last fishing spot for a while. I gotta paddle and cover some ground. I could actually take out here if I wanted to, and I've been going back and forth on it, but I would like to see some more river because I have a good feeling I'm going to be back here again one of these days. It's a cool, really cool river. Yeah, I say I'll be back, but the inner explorer in me sometimes just keeps wanting to go check out new places. Something's going on. Pull it down slow. I'm listening to a podcast. Yeah, I should probably try to get him out of the sticks before I... Oh yeah. There's too much going on. I think a gar is trying to eat my other bait that's in the water. Not joking. What are you? Oh! Little flat kitty. He's been on it for a while. I thought he was a gar, and then he kind of pulled it down just a little different. I apologize for not having the cameras on too. It's another 100-degree day. Not a mega. Right kind though. Right there. This train in the background's making it hard on me. I was a little caught off guard, if you can't tell by my overly awkward comments. I mean, I'm usually pretty awkward, but I feel like I bumped it up a notch. Yeah, I'm not even gonna mess with that hook. So funny. I gut hook so many more flatheads on circles than I do on J hooks. Especially little pikes that don't want to pull it down. But I'd be happy to see them. I pulled up here on a whim. I'm really glad I did. Okay. Au revoir, friend. No splash? Sweet. I've successfully put all 3 species of catfish in the boat. Now we just need a big one. Well, this has got some mustard to them. It's behind those logs. I don't know if we're getting this one, guys. Oh yeah, he's in it. Come on out. Pulled some drag. Then I saw him jump. Did he just come on? Nope. He's in it. And I'm in some really fast current too, so it's not helping my cause none. Okay, something top there, but it's still pretty solid. Oh, this might get a little sketch. Hold it down slow, slow, rip drag. Really like that. Okay, keep my paddle handy, my clips handy. I'm gonna try to grab this log. Easier said than done. Not lose the fishing rod either. Would be ideal. Back up. Slow myself down. Touched it, hanging on. Try not to get spun around in the current. Also easier said than done. I'm gonna go into this one. This one makes more sense. A little bit calmer. I don't even know if this fish is still on. appears to still be on. Oh yeah, he is tangled in some stuff. And whatever he was buried in, he is now substantially deeper in it. Whatever he is, he's not small. Oh, there's my camera. Not convinced he's huge. Oh, something slipped. Oh, this is chaos, I would say. Oh yeah, there ain't no way we're getting him out. There's some depth there. Ooh, something moved. I don't think he's on it anymore though. Dang it. That sucks. That was probably the biggest fish I hooked this trip, but oh yeah, we're just on the hook now. Yeah, that last little surge put us way down in it, and they tore off. That's what happens when they get on a straight pole like that. Definitely the biggest fish I hooked this trip. Well, the other one that broke my rattle, who knows. It's one other bummer part about kayak fishing, like you set up where you can, not necessarily where you want to. And I could have set up there and been just downstream of this log, but I didn't know this log was even like where it was at because I don't have a fish finder. Try to get another one. Got a lot of dead water. A lot of time to think about what I should have done differently with that other fish. That's one bummer thing. I think I said it, but with kayaks you can't like drive through and scan and look where all the structure is. You can, but then you got to paddle up against the current, and then you're probably spooking fish. And I just don't like to do it. I try to read the water the best I can, and I did not read that water well. I kind of wasn't sure if the branch downriver was part of the tree I was tied off to, or if it was part of a different tree, and it turns out it was part of a different tree. So 1 point catfish, 0 point Spencer at that spot, but you know, that's kind of just part of the gig with kayak fishing. You know, you're improvising, trying to make the best of things. So when you do get a good one, at least for me, I feel a lot better about catching a big fish out of a kayak than I do off of a boat or even the bank. Like the bank, there's less variables that you have to worry about than there is in a kayak. So yeah, catching a big fish out of a kayak is pretty rewarding. And it's good exercise. I'm about to get a bunch because I got at least a mile or two of completely dead water, and at least that's the way it looks on the map. We'll see. Might be something that pops up that I want to fish. Not a tiny fish. Wow, he crushed it. Now I get to keep him off the tree I'm tied off to. Probably shouldn't mess with the drag too much. Oh, ain't nearly as big as I hoped he was, but wow, he crushed it. Oh, he's pretty nice. I might drag a little looser than I normally would. Well, not would, but when I'm in a kayak, I back it off a little bit because I go from 80 pound leader, drop down to 60. And then, you know, you don't have a solid rod holders and stuff. And then, thanks. And break-offs, like when you get snagged, dealing with 60 pound is so much better than dealing with 80. Are we gonna double? That would be a mess. Yeah, I wonder if these, looks like there might be a pop-up storm. Oh, he's nice. Thought we had you there. I just can't ever get over how hard a blue cat hits a bait. Hopefully he's hooked good. There we go. Get disconnected temporarily. Definitely dandy right there. That's probably, if he ain't the biggest, he's close. He just pounded it and fought awesome though, and that's my favorite part. Big hits, big fights, big fish, but if they do the first two, pretty happy. He's pretty nice either way. But there's a cat biting on that one. Small cat. See it. My phone that I have charging under my feet is now soaked. Yeah, seems like if they're there, it don't take long. It's so distracting having this rod bounce. Yeah, we'll throw another chunk of cut bait in there though. That doesn't look good. Wasn't supposed to storm till tonight, but Mother Nature might be, you know, getting a head start on things. Not sure. It is to the east of me. Usually storms slide to the east some way, shape, or form, you know. But they also sometimes like build back upon themselves, so I'm hoping that's not what it does. I got rain gear, but rain don't bother me. It's the thunder and lightning. It's hot, muggy, humid, and blustery. It feels like storms. As I say that, as there's a storm building there. I don't know if I think of anything more, you know, anything else that's obvious to say, I'll pass it along. Don't worry. I don't think I could be much more on the edge of the storm than where I'm at right now. It's kind of weird. It looks like it's going north, but it's such a small cell that the radar isn't like predicting its future movement. And north is right where the ramp is that I'm taking out at. So yeah, it kind of seems like I'm paddling right into it. I don't know if it's gonna like blow up and get bigger and get me anyway. Lots of unknowns. Like I don't even know where I'm going. I'm floating backwards. It appears to be sliding off to the northeast. I got out of the water. Yeah, it's thundering pretty good. The last lightning strike I saw wasn't that far away. But I'm gonna tuck into this little cliff thing here. I don't know if this is the play or not. I don't think there's any. There's a tree there. Maybe I'll walk over here. But I won't be standing up high anywhere, or really next to anything else standing up high, and I'm down low a little bit. It's not ideal, but Mother Nature is, it's kind of how Mother Nature's been to me on this trip. Not the first time. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the radar and hopefully it'll get out of here sooner than later. Ugh. I don't mind rain, I hate that electricity. Well, it's cleared up some. At least enough where I haven't heard lightning or thunder for about 10 minutes, so we're gonna keep on chugging until I do. Hopefully don't get caught up in another pop-up storm, because it has that feel to it. Well, he's sprinting at me.
He seems large. Don't just be big, don't be in a log. He was on the top instantly. Yeah, he's not as big as I originally thought, but he's pretty nice. Kind of fitting in with all the rest of them, really. Just roasted it. Tried to learn from my mistakes. I'm in a little bit more precarious of a tie-off spot. It's just one stick poking up, but what I had to do to not be in a spot where I'm for sure gonna snag up. But it's making me a little topsy-turvy. Another nice one. He's missing an eyeball. I wonder if he got a diddy pull or somebody else caught him or something. But seems like no matter where I point the camera, the sun's always in one of them. Ooh, something's going on here. So we'll get him back before we get spun around. Be kind of neat. No monsters, but we're definitely figuring some stuff out. First trip in the new rig, definitely a good time. I already have ideas on things I'm gonna tweak and mess around with and change when I get home. That's one cool thing about these, you know, they're kind of a blank canvas. You can do what you want to them, rig them how you want, and for the most part I like to keep things sleek and simple, so I'm going to try my best to make that happen. But you can also get a little crazy, so we'll see how that goes too. But I also like this river. I bet I'm going to be back sooner than later. It's like nothing I've ever fished, and I don't know, peel back a few layers, learn some stuff, and hopefully next time even do a little bit better. It's always the goal, I guess. But appreciate the heck out of you taking time to watch. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton. Hope you catch a giant.